Soul Simmers, and welcome to a new video. I am so excited for today's video because it's finally time to do some shell tours. As you guys might know, I hosted a shell challenge during April. For the entire month you could join in on the shell challenge. I posted it here on YouTube on the community tab as well. And this time we had a tiny home shell challenge. And I was super excited because there were quite a lot of entries this time, almost 40. And I got to tour all of them already on my Twitch channel. Which, by the way, I will link in the description. I stream 3 times a week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Some people, members of the community, both from Twitch and from YouTube, made some absolutely amazing builds. I said that I would make a video featuring my top 5 of the shells, but you guys are just too talented. There is no way I can just pick 5. So I managed to pick 8 of my favorites. I will tour them. I will make sure to link everyone's gallery ID, or if they make any other form of content, I will make sure to link it in the description down below. In case you want to join in on any future shell challenges, I post them on the community tab. I tend to host them every 3 to 4 months, I would say. Also, I quickly want to mention that today's tours are completely randomly ordered. There is no like top 8 where one is better than the other. These are just my 8 favorite ones. I loved all of them for a different reason. And all the people that didn't make it to today's video, you guys also made incredible builds. You really made it difficult for me to pick. Please don't feel bad if you weren't featured in today's video, because to be fair, every single one of them could have been in this YouTube video because every single one of them were great. And it's also just my personal opinion which of them spoke to me the most. Yeah, I'm just very excited to show you some houses, so let's go. So the first house of today is actually a romantic garden home. And I remember during the stream when I opened this lot, I was already like next level impressed with how creative this was. The rule for this challenge was that you were not allowed to add any tiles. So the original structure was 64 tiles. It was a medium-sized tiny house, and it should stay like this. And you were also not allowed to add any exterior walls, any exterior buildings, anything. So it was quite the challenge for people to also decorate the entire lot. And this person just decided to use a roof with a door to make a greenhouse. And I just thought that was so brilliant. And I think this is actually functional. To be fair, I have not play tested it, but it's just so cool and so smart. And I'm totally stealing this idea. I think this is one of my favorite things for shell challenges, is that I totally get to steal all of your creativity because you guys are so talented and it's so cool. That was the first thing that I noticed about this build, and I think it's amazing. And then we turned around and this is what we saw. Hello? Teach me your landscaping skills. This is absolutely amazing. The shading with the terrain paint, the whole combination of the flowers and the bushes that were picked, the fact that you managed to use the actual elephant statue and the cow. I believe this is a cow. I'm not sure. Please tell me, is this a cow? The cow one? I don't think I've ever used those because I always feel like they look a little bit odd. But somehow you managed to make them make sense. This landscaping is absolutely gorgeous. I'm taken away again from this. And then we get to the actual house. And before I say anything, I love the fact that there is so much glass in the roof as well. It brings so much beautiful light into the build. I absolutely love it. And then as soon as we go inside, it's just an absolutely lovely color scheme. Very soft, very warm colors. It just feels welcoming. I kind of want to move in here. I absolutely love like the whites in the kitchen as well. I just think this is such a gorgeous build. I absolutely love it. I think it's very well decorated. I think the whole situation with the bars around the stairs is very smart, because this way you don't actually have to add a railing, and it kind of combines or blends the upper floor with the downstairs floor. I love the fact that this person has used gallery art, which is non-CC, but it is like a painting that your sim actually made. And people make the most amazing things. You can get very creative with gallery art. And I love the fact that this house feels like it's decorated very well without it being extremely cluttered. It's not very full. There's not many things going on in the rooms. It's not like it's completely stuffed with things, and yet somehow it doesn't feel empty. It feels very welcoming and nice. And I love the whole outdoor area with the bee boxes as well, like the little patio in front, and then just this beautiful lush back garden, and then with the greenhouse in the front. Absolutely love this home. I can 10 out of of 10 recommend downloading this. It's absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for entering the shell challenge. I absolutely loved your entry. So the next build is actually not a house, but a library. And to be fair, I think community lots already always have a couple of points in my head extra, because I struggle with building community lots. I think making a community lot that looks good, that is nice to play in, is just very difficult. So the fact that this person, this build was made by Nela, it's actually one of my quite active community members on Twitch. She managed to turn this into a library, and I think 1, the library looks great. 2, I will show you the landscaping because again, it's completely insane. And 3, she made it a treasure hunt. She hid 3 items in this build for me to find, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious, super original for an entry for a shell challenge. And also, it's just a really good library. I can just highly recommend downloading it. There is one other reason why I definitely thought this one should be on the top 8 for today, and that is the roofing on this. I mean, mind you, you were not allowed to add any tiles in this build. So all of these walls are separately placed to prevent the game from making this into rooms. The whole roofing situation, I mean, this build had some strange shapes. I'm not lying to you if I said that this shell was very weird and ugly to begin with. And she managed to make it look so cool. And she managed to make all of the walls and the weird corners make so much sense. She made it look good. And I think that roofing like this with half walls, I don't think I've ever seen it, or maybe a couple of times, but I've definitely not seen it this well done. And I think it's super creative, and I'm definitely stealing that idea from you, Nela, because I think it's absolutely amazing. She thought a shell challenge is not enough. Let me actually add an entire park in the back. And to be fair, I think making parks in The Sims and like making them look good might even be more difficult than making a good looking community lot. And somehow she managed to do both. She managed to make a library and make a super good looking park. And I feel like they go together so well. I think it's brilliant to have a nice outdoor area next to your library. I think the whole layout of this is genius. It's so smart. I absolutely love it. And I cannot wait to actually use this library in my game because I'm definitely placing it in one of my save files. Then when we go to the inside, there's just a small but functional study area for your Sims to go to so they can actually use the library. There are bookshelves, and you know, in The Sims, I kind of only need 1. You don't need multiple bookshelves. I know that upstairs there's another 1 or another 2. It's just really nice that, you know, it's a functional library. It doesn't have to do more than this. And I like it that it's actually a smaller build as well. There's a little chess table that you can play on. And if you guys want to know what she hid in my shell challenge, if you want to know what the treasure hunt was, I will make sure to link my TikTok down below because I already made a TikTok video covering what she hid and the whole storyline behind it. So I'm not telling you today, but if you want to see it, you can actually check it out on my TikTok channel as well. But thank you so much, Nela, for entering. I absolutely love what you did with the build. I think it blows my mind with the creativity on the outside of the build, with the roofing, with the whole landscaping around it. I think it's very cool that you made it into a community lot. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for making it into a treasure hunt. I had so much fun. I think I might be stealing that idea for future shell challenges, if that's okay with you. Then build number 3 on today's list is actually kind of a special one for me because it was made by my best friend, like my IRL lifetime best friend. And I remember that she said that she was going to do my shell challenge and that she was going to turn it into something modern. And I did my own shell challenge while I was streaming. I worked on it for 3 weeks on stream. Every Wednesday we put hours and hours into it, and I made it into a farm, like a typical large farm with a small farmhouse on the side. And I had absolutely no vision for that house to be modern, because I felt like my shell challenge was in no way, shape, or form suited for a modern house. And she said, I'm gonna make it into a modern house, but don't expect too much because I'm not that good at landscaping. And I've seen her landscape. We've made a save file together, so I know what she can do. And I can tell you that she went above and beyond with this house to make it, 1, look extremely good on the outside, 2, make it insanely well landscaped, and 3, make it super cozy and cute on the inside. She managed to fit 2 bedrooms into a 64 tile house. I still don't know how she did it because I barely managed to fit 1. I felt like I constantly had not enough space in the one that I was doing, and she managed to make it into an incredibly cool looking build that I think has a lot of creative sides to it. So I want to show you guys around. I want to start with the back garden because I think this is so well landscaped with having all of the rocks sort of as a natural border. There is no actual fencing or a large hedge or anything, just all of the rocks and all of the plants. And I think it makes it look like it's more natural in a way, with still having that separation between where, you know, the pavement is and where your lot starts. I think the whole backyard just looks super cozy with all of the different chairs around the tables. I think the placement of these planter boxes is very smart, like underneath the tree. I feel like this is a really good family home. I feel that a, you know, maybe family of 3 or 4 could definitely live here. Apart from it being a tiny house, the backyard looks like it's a family home, and I love that. I think it's super, super cute. I think in the front as well, very well laid out with all of the spaces. I think it's nice to also have a table in the front and then sort of have it end here, but then here go back a little bit farther so there is place for a car. I love the fact that she used this one little weird wall, which I think people hated me for when I placed it down in the shell challenge. She used it very well. It's not annoying in any way, shape, or form with how she structured the rest of the build around it. And then on the inside, she went for such a warm floor plan, like warm colors, a lot of bright reds, bright yellows. I think the kitchen placement here is super smart. I love what she did with continuing this wall to make this into a bathroom, and therefore this is still a tiny nook of the house, but the kitchen just feels a lot more spacious. I think the placement of these cabinets next to the front door is super, super nice, super smart. The whole living room, adding the cabinets underneath the stairs to create some more storage or decoration space, I absolutely love it. Then here we have the first bedroom, which still blows my mind that it's a 2-bedroom house. I don't know how she did it. I love the fact that it's super cluttered. It's very clear that a lot of time went into detailing this build, into coming up with a story, that this person is really into music. It's probably like a teen or maybe like a little bit elder kid, nearing their teens. I love the fact that she used a bunk bed to make sure that there's more space in the room. I think the cabinet up top, like above the desk, using it as a nightstand as well, is just very smart. I'm stealing that from you, just so you know. And then upstairs we have a parent's bedroom. I think the placement of the bed is very creative. I've not seen anyone else do this in the entire shell challenge, but creating some sort of storage nook right next to it over here, actually having a door to a balcony with a yoga mat. I think this build is just awesome. I want to play here. I think it looks amazing. I love the fact that the house on the outside is also dark blue. It's a little bit of a tricky color choice because it can look a little bit weird as an outdoor color, but I think with all of the whites and the landscaping around it, it just works. And I love it so much. And thank you so much for entering. I love the fact that you actually did my shell challenge and took so much time and effort in making it look so amazing. So thank you so much. Then for the next build, we have something completely different. And this is why I love shell challenges. Can you imagine that what we just saw, like the library or the 2 houses, are the same shell as this? To be fair, if I wasn't sure that it was my shell challenge, if I couldn't check it on the gallery and it, you know, I would have just seen the build on the gallery, there would have been no way that I would have known or guessed this. Because this is just so infinitely creative. I mean, the build is called Home on Mars. The fact that this person went through the entire, not even struggle, but just to take the time to make the entire landscaping look as if it is on Mars is, one, super cool and super creative. I love all of the details with like the spaceship and adding like a dead tree, because it just adds to that feeling of it not being this world, it actually being in space somewhere. And then the whole thing that they did with the little fountains and the lava lights, lava lamps thingies that light up the lot at night as well. It's so cool. It's so futuristic in a way. And then we have the whole, you know, sort of metally abandoned look with the pink. I don't know why, but I think that is such a cool color scheme. It's such a cool choice. Then when we go on the inside, like the first floor really goes with that metal and sort of industrial feel. There is, you know, a lot of shiny silvers. I think this couch is a genius idea for this build. I think it works very well, but it's very dark with a lot of reds. I think this bathroom as well, it looks so futuristic, and I'm not sure I would feel comfortable living here or showering here, but you know, it looks pretty darn cool, and I think it works very well. And then we go to the upstairs floor, and I remember touring this on stream and just being completely shocked because this was not what I was expecting. It's like a 180 from what is happening downstairs. Downstairs is like, you know, this is the lab or the living space, which is, you know, the actual home on Mars. And then you come up and it's just so cozy. I mean, it's still a little bit curious with this whole computer station and you know, the golden thingies on the wall. But this just looks cozy and so nice. And I think it was definitely not what I was expecting, but I love the fact that the whole color scheme from the outside transitions to the inside and that you continue to use like the soft pinks and the gold details and stuff on the inside over here, because that just makes a lot of sense and I think it's really cool. And also having a TV like this so that you could watch from your bed, I think very smart. I like it a lot. And just altogether, this build, I remember when I saw the gallery picture, I didn't exactly know what I would expect from this because obviously I tried to not look at builds too much when placing them before I was going to tour them on Twitch. But this one really, really blew me away when I was touring it on Twitch because it's just, how do you come up with this? How do you see my shell and think, yep, that's a spaceship on Mars? I'm just blown away. Thank you so, so much for entering and just making it incredibly entertaining to tour your build. I had so much fun with this one. The next build is actually from one of my content creation friends, Lisa, aka SunnySimsy. You guys might know her. She also makes a lot of great YouTube content. She also streams on Twitch. I'll make sure to link both of her channels down below, but she does the most amazing tiny house builds. To be fair, my shell challenge this time was a tiny house because she said if I would make a tiny house shell challenge that she would enter, and I just wanted her to enter because she's an absolutely amazing builder. And I watched her build a part of this on stream. I tried not to watch too much of it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but she, you know, she did it again. She made a classic but fantastic SunnySimsy home. It has a lot of yellows. It has fantastic landscaping. It has the stepping stones, which we kind of joke around about that she uses them in every build. And to be fair, they always look good, so I get why she does it. I don't know. Her talent for building is something that continues to inspire me every single time I watch her streams or I watch her YouTube videos. I remember watching her videos before I even got into content creation myself. I just think she's an absolutely amazing builder, and if you guys don't know her yet, please go check her out because I'm 100% sure that you will absolutely love her. The landscaping, I love the fact that when you make a tiny house shell, people actually take the time and effort to landscape around it because the build itself doesn't already take so much of their time. But I just love the entire vibe of this build, like the little carpets, the granny chair. I feel like this is such a perfect grandma home. It is, her title's cute little home, and I think that is just perfect. I love the whole detailing with all of the plants sort of growing out of the roof. I love the fact that this weird little corner, she just hit it. She didn't even roof it, she just hit it. And I think that's genius because that was such a pain in the ass to try to roof. I remember doing it on my stream and I was like, no, this is just not working out. And I love the fact that she just kind of, you know, hit it with plants, but not in a way that it's very obvious that she's hiding things. She just makes it look super good and therefore it works. I love the whole wallpaper choices. Using different wallpapers on one build is something I really need to get better at because I tend to use the same one throughout the entire build, or at least on the outside. And the fact that there's yellow wooden planks, the horizontal ones, and then the vertical ones on the top, and then having stone over here, it does add a lot of dynamic, and I kind of want to steal that idea from you. So just so you know, I'm taking it. And then the inside, she actually did platforms, which I tend to stay away from them because they just annoy me. But when you enter, there's like a little step up into the actual house, which makes the stairs over here make more sense. I think if this were all flat and you had a door over here or sort of an archway over here, I think that these stairs might have felt a little bit random, but because you have the step up, it just feels super natural that you would continue on over here. Then having a small but functional bathroom, because Lisa playtests all of her builds, so this is 100% functional. The fact that this is such a smart corner for a bathroom as well, because it is in the hallway, and that just makes a lot of sense. Then the whole decoration indoors is just, again, with the different wallpapers and the whole, again, sort of back door area that you walk into with a platform, and then having all of the cat or dog things here and everything just being slightly rotated. it's those little details that let me know that someone really spent a lot of time in building something or decorating something, and I just think it looks amazing. We have another really cute kitchen in the corner over here, again with like the little shelves and the clutter and the decoration. I love that this is a cluttered build, but it is not full. It's not messy. There are things everywhere, but they're all very strategically placed, so it makes sense to play in here without it feeling super busy or crowded. And then on the upper floor, I love what she did with having these shelves above the bed and then having sort of these bookcases and then push the bed sort of into it so that this is actual storage space, but it looks good, if that makes any sense. I love the fact that this is sort of tiered, sort of like a stair, because that just makes this wall look super good with, again, without it being super cluttered. And then the fact that there's the hanging plant and all the paintings. I'm sorry, I can just fangirl over this build for forever. There is a little balcony as well. I don't think I've even seen this on stream. I just noticed it now. I just love what she did with the build. I love that she made this a patio on the back as well, making it like very light and bright with the glass roof and the whole terrain tool. I mean, with this build, you weren't allowed to add any tiles, so it wasn't an option to actually raise the house and add a foundation and then make like a porch and stuff, because that would add tiles. But she managed to do that anyways by just putting the entire thing on terrain tool, like raising it up, still having the stairs going up and here going down. That just shows a lot of talent in building and a lot of patience. And thank you so much for entering, because I love what you did with the shell. I want to live here. And there are so many things in this build that I am stealing. I mean, I'm already stealing this roof trick where you do multiple roof pieces to get a nicer looking roof on a flat wall. Brilliant. I'm stealing it. Thank you so much for entering. I really love what you did with it. Then from cute little homes, we move on to, again, something completely different. And this is the same as with the whole like home on Mars build. How do you see my shell and think graveyard? How? I'm so intrigued by how this process works, because I don't know how it works, and I think it's absolutely amazing. I think this looks so cool. I love the fact that you went through the entire debug menu to grab all kinds of different gravestones and also decorate them. Look, some of them have candles, some of them have a little tree or some flowers, some of them have a little light. Like, people actually come here and they visit, and and this one is completely overgrown because either people have been placing a lot of flowers or people have been abandoning this one. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Is this people that really love this person, or is it completely overgrown because it's abandoned? But I just think this is so cool. I love the fact that there's the large fence around it, because that makes it feel like a separate area as well, and I think that is very true to a graveyard. And then the fact that the person who tends the graveyard, or who is responsible for it, just lives right next to it in a house that looks kind of creepy and scary and gloomy. I remember opening this lot on stream and thinking, oof, yeah, that is kind of a gloomy house. That doesn't look too cozy, with the whole graveyard next to it. But surprise, surprise, when you go in, somehow it is, there is, cobwebs and everything, but it is actually kind of homey, especially the bedroom. Like, look at it. The person living here and the dog, they have matching beds, and with all of the rugs and stuff, it actually looks kind of cozy. I was super surprised by this on stream, and I'm still sort of surprised because this house on the outside looks just scary. But then on the inside, it's like, yeah, it's kind of like your old grandma's house or something, but then a little bit more creepy, but it works. And I think that this kitchen also, it works, it functions with the whole, bar as well over here that they can they can prepare food here, but they can also sit here to have the food. And I think with all of the little clutter items, this person has eggs, chicken and eggs, they're just very casual, but also the little detailing on the wall, the fact that they're, this tear in the wall and all of the cobwebs and stuff, you actually went through the time to actually place all of this, and I think that's just amazing because it totally fits the vibe, and I feel like it shows that you really had a vision for this build. You really knew what you wanted to do. And then also, look, I didn't even notice this before. I didn't notice this on stream. Like, the person has a little private graveyard. for their dog? That makes me so sad. I didn't notice that on stream. Maybe the person who lives here, they had a dog, but the dog is no longer with them. That's such a sad story. I mean, I really think this build is amazing, but that just made me a little bit sad. But still, again, that only adds to the fact that this person had a vision for the build. You know, they knew what kind of story they wanted to tell with it. And I think that's amazing. And one other thing that we were talking about on stream is this house has an attic that is just completely stuffed with shit, which one, I think is very funny. Two, I think brilliant of just, you know, you don't need the space. Why not actually make it into an attic room? But we did have one question. How did the furniture get up here through the ladder? Because there's also no windows. So how did this person get all of the things up? If you guys have any ideas, please pop them in the comments down below, because we were not able to figure it out. We didn't know. But thank you so much for entering the shell challenge. I absolutely love what you did with it. It's so infinitely creative. Again, so different as well from all of the other builds that I've seen so far. And I love it. Thank you so much. Then the next build on today's video is another modern house, but it is a completely different vibe from what we've seen so far, because this is very clearly a very eco home. And I think I fell in love with the dark colors on the outside and then the green roofs that just really make it pop. I love the fact that on the green roof, there's actually grass so that it adds a lot more dimension to the green roof. And I think the landscaping on this build, and then with the pond in the back as well, is just super well done, especially if you look at the surroundings. It's just, imagine, you know, that you're living in this house and you look out over the pond and then you see the beach and stuff. I just feel that it makes it mix very well with the surroundings. I am not 100% sure whether this lot was built on this lot specifically, because I just tried to figure it out from the gallery picture, but at least I felt like it really suited here. And I think I would absolutely love playing here in some sort of an eco challenge, or maybe the simple living trait on this lot. I think it looks amazing. I think the main reason that this build is on my list for today, apart from the fact that the outside is absolutely stunning and I love it, but is the inside. This house is so incredibly well decorated. Look at this custom shelving next to the fridge. This is individually placed pieces, all of them, every single one, even the bookshelf itself. The same then for the kitchen. Just the amount of time that must have gone into cluttering this. This is an item, and then someone placed all of the items individually. They went into debug and found plates and glasses and everything. I'm just blown away by the amount of patience that must have gone into decorating this build. Then the entire color scheme of all of sort of the refurbished stones and the refurbished wood and everything just makes so much sense. I love the amount of plants in this house. For those of you that do not know, because on Twitch I talk about it a lot, but I haven't really mentioned it on my YouTube a lot. I am a gigantic plant mom. I love plants. I have about, I would say 65 plus houseplants, and I have a balcony garden. I am a sucker for plants. I absolutely love them. And the fact that so many people in the shell tours went above and beyond and added plants, you guys made my heart grow. I love it. Thank you so much. And then the next room is, again, look at these custom night lights. I have no words. That is just so good and so creative, and I'm totally stealing it. Then the same for this little desk area that is made out of a shelf, but it is completely functional. It works because this person has made sure that this laptop was actually standing on a table, and then they made the table so small that you couldn't see it, but it's still functional. Just the entire color scheme of this, and then having the bathroom sort of bring back the outside in with a super dark color scheme with a dark stone, which sort of matches as well with the thing that is going on in the kitchen. And it feels like a repurposed stone. It feels like a, you know, this entire house was built up out of recycled materials. And I absolutely love the fact that you can see it in everything. You can see it in the kitchen table even. It looks like a repurposed or refurbished table from something. And it looks so, so good. And then on the upstairs, we actually have the living room. I love the fact that this person made sure that the bedroom, there was more space for it because they placed it downstairs. And then upstairs, there's a living room that has this beautiful big window looking out. This door should be functional, but if you want to play in this house and it isn't functional, you can always rotate the couch like this and it should all still be functional. But I mean, in real life, you can totally place your couch like this and then actually have the sliding doors to go out on the balcony. I love the fact that there's again this wood on the inside of the wall, sort of having that repurposed feeling. And I think it just adds a lot of warmth to to it. And again, the shelving with all of the custom items. It just, this whole lot, just the decoration, all of these paintings that were individually placed with some gallery art in there as well. It's just, it looks so incredibly good and cozy. And the little balcony with the lights hanging. I just think this lot as a whole is very, very well decorated. There went a lot of time into the detailing and the decoration of this build, and I think it totally paid off. I think it looks amazing. I really want to play in a build like this at some point, so I will definitely be placing it down in one of my save files. Thank you so much for entering. I'm in love with this build. It's so up my alley. It's so my style. I absolutely adore it. Thank you so much. And then we'll move on to the last build for today's video, and that is this cute little fisher home. Well, I say little, but the lot as a whole is not that little, and it's very well decorated. I love the placement of the house sort of all the way back in the corner, and then just using the entire lot to make it more functional or to make it make more sense. I think this custom stand to sell fish that is actually functional because there's the table to sell it, and then having the little roof over it, this is so cool and so smart. I will from now on be always making my little market stalls like this because I think it's amazing and I love it. And I love the fact that there's even the, you know, this separate sort of, what is it called? Shading thing? I have absolutely no idea. That you actually place this in the roof to sort of give it even more personality. I think stuff like that, I just know that you're a super creative person and I love it. I think it's so smart. I think the entire decoration of this lot with a little gardening area over here, then sort of separating it again, sort of splitting up all of the areas in the lot so everything feels smaller, but still it's quite a large lot to decorate. Having a little seating area as well, with, again, the two different chairs. I'm a sucker for two different chairs. I don't know why. I don't think I would ever do that in real life, but in The Sims, I always think it looks super cute. Then sort of moving this thing into the wall so that it's like the things are actually hanging from this wall instead of from the separate planter that it is. Then a little area for the cat and to do your laundry in the front and stuff. This is so smart. This person, in this annoying wall that I placed, added a window so that you kind of don't see it anymore. And then they added the windows here as well. So it's sort of the same everywhere. So you don't really notice that there is a wall here. And that is just really brilliant. I love that. That's super smart. I also love the fact that you made sure to use this little upper area, the little balcony area, as a functional space. You added a washing machine here, which I think is a very smart place. I hope though that if it rains that this won't break, because I think technically it's outdoors, so it might break. But you can always fix that if you actually want to play in this lot, that this is an actual roof or something that completely shelters it. Then on the inside, I absolutely love the whole color scheme and decor choices. I think this checkered wallpaper is amazing. I just love the whole white wood with the blues. It's very seaside, it's very oceany. I think it fits very well with the whole theme of this being a fisherman's home. I love the fact that there is a little hallway that also has the woodworking table that is like a functional place. I think if you are a fisherman and you have a house that also on the outside is super, you know, aimed at function, then it makes a lot of sense that in your hallway you would make a little workspace. And I think that's super cool. I think the whole colors, the whole pastels continuing in the bathroom as well, but it's still being like a super ugly but practical sink, but it's still sort of matching with the pink color scheme. I think that's just in a way hilarious and I absolutely love it. I love this whole kitchen layout. I just think the colors in here, they're bright, they're warm. I very rarely make super colorful builds and I'm always impressed when people do that and they make it look good, they make it make sense. I love the fact that there's the whole little sort of map kit over here. This person is a fisher for their job. It makes sense for them to sort of, you know the coastal area, to maybe even work as a coast guard at some point. So these equipments right next to the jackets just make a lot of sense, and I love the fact that those little details are there. It really makes me feel like you had a story in mind or a sim in mind when you were building this, and I think that is super cool to see. And then we have this super cute upstairs area, again with, you know, the TV being here that you can watch TV from the bed with all of the little clutters. Also the thingy from the dog. I know that I saw two little cat or dog bowls downstairs. I think it's a really nice idea that you live here with your pets. I just love the fact that everything is so bright and colorful, that you also have some gallery art as well to decorate the whole place. I just I love this build so much. I think it is super cute. I think it's very well done. It makes a lot of sense for this lot as well. For this one, I'm pretty sure that it was built on this lot because you could see it very clearly on the gallery. And I think it just works for them being right next to the docks and stuff. And again, I'm just super blown away by how creative this build is and how you saw my shell and thought, yes, Fisherman's home. I have no idea but how you came up with that, but I absolutely adore it. Thank you so much for entering. I had a lot of fun touring this one on stream as well. Thank you so much for entering. If you guys want to see any of the other shells that entered, feel free to check out my second YouTube channel. I will link it in the description down below. That is where I upload all of the VODs from my Twitch streams, so you can watch them back even after they disappear on Twitch itself. And all of the shell tour days are already uploaded and available, so you can completely watch them back even if you weren't covered in this video, but you did enter in the shell challenge. I toured every single build that entered on Twitch, so you will be able to watch back the Twitch stream. You can also watch it back on Twitch still for the coming, I believe, 3 months, because that way you can also see the chat. I know that a lot of people in chat gave compliments to everyone who joined in on the shell. So if you want to see what was said about your build, feel free to check either my YouTube channel or my Twitch account. But thank you so much for everyone who entered. I was completely overwhelmed when I saw that there were 39 entries. That is crazy. Thank you so much for joining. I had the bestest of time looking at all these shells, touring them, doing my own shell challenge myself. I think was a lot of fun. I just in general had a lot of fun, and I cannot wait for in maybe 3 to 4 months doing another one. Unfortunately, they do take a lot of time in preparation, so I'm not able to do every month a new shell challenge or something. I do really love it. Thank you so much for entering. And please let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of today's builds, because I would absolutely love to hear it. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell for any future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!